The $2,500 solid gold Mont Blanc pen gleamed under the office lights, left carelessly beside scattered $100 bills. Marcus Wellington, a tech CEO burned by betrayal, pretended to sleep in his chair, watching through the reflection in his computer screen. He was testing the one man he thought might be different, his janitor James Walker, and the curious grandson who had come along for the night. What the boy did next would shatter everything Marcus believed about human nature. James began dusting the bookshelves, methodically working his way around the spacious office, while his grandson Malik, age 8, settled at a small table near the window, opening his math workbook. The boy's eyes immediately noticed the expensive pen and cash scattered carelessly across the desk. Marcus Wellington held his breath, preparing for disappointment. In his experience, everyone had a price. Everyone would eventually reveal their true nature when tempted by easy wealth. But Malik didn't reach for the money or pen. Instead, he approached with curious concern. "Grandpa, I think Mr. Marcus forgot his money and fancy pen on the desk. Someone might take them." James looked up from his cleaning, startled to see the cash and expensive writing instrument left carelessly out in the open. "Malik, step away from there. That's not ours to touch." "But what if someone bad comes in here and takes Mr. Marcus's things?" Malik asked innocently. "Remember when you told me about the burglars who broke into Ms. Robinson's house? Maybe we should put his money somewhere safe." What happened next left Marcus Wellington completely stunned. Malik didn't grab the cash or pen. Instead, he carefully began organizing the bills into neat stacks, treating them with the reverence of someone handling something precious that belonged to another person. "Grandpa, should we put these in Mr. Marcus's desk drawer so they're safe? Maybe leave a note that we move them?" Malik said, gently straightening the scattered bills. "At school, Mrs. Carter taught us that when we see something that might get lost or stolen, we should help protect it." James approached cautiously, recognizing a substantial amount of money, an expensive pen. "Malik, put those down carefully. This is a lot of money." "That's why we need to keep it safe for him," Malik replied with the pure logic only children possess. "If it's important money, then Mr. Marcus will be worried if it's gone when he comes back." Marcus Wellington felt something crack inside his chest, a wall of cynicism built over years of betrayal beginning to crumble. This child, who probably had never owned anything worth more than $20, was worried about protecting cash and valuables that represented more than his grandfather earned in 2 months. Over the following weeks, Marcus Wellington continued his covert observation of James and Malik. He discovered that James worked 3 jobs: janitor at the tech company, weekend maintenance at an apartment complex, and early morning dishwashing at a diner. Malik accompanied him everywhere during summer break, always quiet, always respectful, always helping however he could. What moved Marcus most was overhearing James teach his grandson life lessons during their quiet moments. "Malik, remember, it doesn't matter if no one is watching. We do the right thing because it's who we are, not because someone might see us. Even if we really need money, Grandpa. Especially then, Malik, our integrity isn't for sale." Marcus Wellington learned that James was raising Malik alone after his daughter died in a car accident 2 years prior. The boy's father had never been in the picture. Despite working multiple jobs, James was saving every penny he could for Malik's education, dreaming of sending him to college. Victoria Sterling, the company's operations director and daughter of a major investor, noticed the increased attention James was receiving. Marcus Wellington had quietly authorized a raise for the janitor, impressed by his work ethic and character. "Marcus, why are we wasting money on custodial staff?" Victoria questioned during a board meeting. "Especially that particular employee. He brings a child to work. It's completely unprofessional." "James is reliable and thorough," Marcus Wellington replied evenly. Victoria's expression soured. "These people always want more once you give them an inch. And that child running around, it's a liability issue. What kind of parent exposes a kid to a corporate environment after hours? Clearly indicates poor judgment." That evening, Marcus Wellington witnessed Victoria confronting James in the parking lot. "Listen carefully," she said in a threatening tone. "I know you're getting special treatment somehow. I don't know what sob story you've sold, but it ends now. And get that kid out of here. This isn't a daycare center. Malik pressed closer to his grandfather, frightened by her aggressive demeanor. James spoke quietly but firmly. Ma'am, I'm just doing my job. Malik stays quiet and doesn't interfere with anything. Your job is to clean and stay invisible. Nothing more, Victoria snapped. People like you need to remember your place. Unknown to Victoria, Marcus Wellington had installed additional security cameras throughout the building. Her discriminatory comments and threats were all being recorded. But Marcus wanted more than just evidence. He wanted Victoria to expose her true character completely. Using his connections, Marcus Wellington had a private investigator look into Victoria's background. The results were disturbing. A pattern of harassment toward black employees at previous companies, always covered up by her family's wealth and influence. Victoria, feeling threatened by James's improved status, decided to take decisive action. She purchased an expensive tablet and planned to plant it in James's cleaning supplies, then discover it publicly to frame him for theft. Marcus Wellington, monitoring everything through a security system, watched Victoria execute her plan on a Thursday evening. She planted the tablet in James's cart, then called 2 security guards to witness her discovery. James, Victoria announced with fake authority as she approached with the security guards. We need to inspect your cleaning supplies. There have been reports of missing items. James stopped working, confused and worried. I don't understand, Miss Sterling. This is just routine, Victoria lied, walking directly to where she had planted the tablet. Well, what do we have here? She pulled out the expensive device with theatrical shock. James Walker, this is an $800 company tablet that went missing from the IT department. James's face went pale. I've never seen that tablet before in my life. Of course you haven't, Victoria said with venom. It just magically appeared in your cart. Malik stood up from his homework table, tears forming in his eyes. Grandpa didn't take anything. He always says we only keep what belongs to us. Quiet, child, Victoria snapped. Your grandfather will need to come with security to explain this theft. That's when Marcus Wellington appeared in the doorway with Sandra Miller from HR and the company's legal counsel. Victoria, Marcus Wellington said calmly, I think we need to discuss the situation in the conference room. Marcus, thank goodness you're here. We caught your janitor stealing company property. Marcus Wellington's expression remained neutral. Sandra, please show Victoria the footage we reviewed this afternoon. Sandra Miller stepped forward with a tablet displaying security footage. Victoria, this shows you purchasing this tablet at an electronics store this morning, then planting it in Mr. Walker's cart 20 minutes ago. The legal counsel added, we also have recordings of your discriminatory threats toward Mr. Walker in the parking lot, which constitute workplace harassment and potentially criminal behavior. Victoria's confident demeanor began to crack as she realized the scope of what was happening. You can't use that footage against me. This is entrapment. Actually, the legal counsel continued, the board met in emergency session this afternoon. Given the evidence of discrimination, harassment, and attempted evidence fabrication, your employment has been terminated for cause, effective immediately. Marcus Wellington looked at Victoria steadily. Security will escort you to clean out your office. Your family's investment position is being reviewed by the board as well. 6 months later, James had been promoted to head of facilities management, a position that came with substantial salary increase and full benefits, including college savings for Malik. The boy was enrolled in an advanced STEM program at the city's best elementary school. Mr. Marcus, Malik said during a visit to the executive floor, my teacher says I could be an astronaut or an engineer if I study hard. Grandpa says you're the reason I can dream big now. Marcus Wellington knelt down to Malik's level. The reason you can dream big is because you and your grandfather showed me what real character looks like. You saved my faith in people. Victoria, meanwhile, faced potential criminal charges and found herself unemployable in the corporate world. Her attempt to destroy an innocent family had instead revealed her own corrupt nature to the entire business community. Marcus Wellington established the Malik Walker Future Leaders Scholarship, providing educational opportunities for children of black families. James became a respected voice on the company's diversity council, helping create policies that protected vulnerable employees. The honesty of an 8-year-old boy reminded me that character isn't about wealth or status, Marcus Wellington reflected during company meeting. It's about doing the right thing when no one is watching, or when everyone is. Sometimes the most profound lessons come from the most unexpected teachers, proving that true integrity shines brightest when it's tested by those who have the least to gain and the most to lose. If this story moved you, make sure to subscribe for more powerful lessons about integrity, hope, and humanity.